I was just a tiny bit curious, so we sent in an access to information request to the school for their own internal records on the matter, and we got them. Can I show them to you? So I'm not using that awful social media where apparently the school spin doctor gets recipes. I've never heard of anyone doing that, but I guess that all it's good for is recipes. I'm instead going to use the school's own records here. Now they've redacted the names of individuals, but some of them we can guess, obviously. And you know, it won't surprise you to learn that the school is a pack of liars. Are you surprised? Let's start with what the students say happened. Let's start with Bryce Bauman himself. Here's the letter he wrote. And again, I'm going to say the word blank when something is blanked out. Sometimes I'll say a teacher or a name that I do know, but mainly I'll say blank. Blank and I were having a debate in class because I wore a Trump hat. And after the debate, we went into the hall to practice a play, and blank came in and started to debate with us. And when blank left, the teacher said that Trump is racist and sexist, and if you support him, you are too. And you should be ashamed and embarrassed to wear that hat. Then in period 4 art, teacher made me stand up in front of the class and tried to get everyone to boo me. Then teacher called me racist and sexist, and teacher pointed at me and said, "That's the kind of face I would like to punch." Sounds like a great school, really good learning environment. I bet they're really good at anti-bullying week, don't you? So that's what the student in the hat himself said. Bryce Bauman's his name. We know that because his dad went public. Maybe he's lying, though. What do his classmates have to say? Again, these are letters I received through an access to information request from the school, so these are the school's own records. Let me read them to you. The names are redacted by the school board for privacy reasons. Here's student number 1, as he's called. We were in hallway practicing a play. Blank and blank were having a discussion about Trump and American politics. Blank came in and began to join the discussion. Blank spoke, blank mind, and said things blank very disliked Trump for blank, then told Bryce should be ashamed to wear that hat along with things like how if he supports Trump, he's a racist and things like that. Art class, start a class. Teacher told Bryce to stand up and say things like that, blank, sexist and racist and other rude terms. He then said that after blank has done lunch, the teacher was going to use that hat as a trash can. He then started booing Bryce. And he got mad at the class when they wouldn't boo with him. He also said, "That's the face of a person I'd like to punch." Sounds like a nice guy. Real man's man. Taking on a 14-year-old boy like that. That's courage. That's the finest. Let me read student number 2, which is almost identical. Again, this is from the school. Teacher said during attendance, "Bryce, stand up." Everybody look what Bryce is wearing on his head. And Bryce was wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. And teacher said, "Everybody boo Bryce," and said, "Boo." And teacher said, "Bryce must be racist and sexist and a bully," and then said, "That's the kind of face I would like to punch." And Bryce sat down because he was embarrassed. Serves him right, eh? I mean, come on. So this kid, Bryce, 14 years old, grade 9, was just talking politics with other students. Teacher wasn't even involved with it. I think it's normal, fine, healthy. Kids talk politics, whatever. But the teacher didn't talk politics, did he? Teacher was a weird bully who brought it up in class. Teacher told Bryce to stand up. Teacher told the class to boo Bryce. Teacher led the booing. Teacher said that Bryce or the hat or both or either, same thing, were racist. And then the kid had a punchable face. That's a really good thing to hear from a man. Hey, can't control his rage, brings it into class. You got a punchable face. I got to boo you. Got a punchable face. You watch out. Now that's what Bryce's dad told John Gormley on the radio. That's what both student witnesses said. That's what Bryce himself said. But what did the teacher himself say? The bully, the bigot, the intolerant threatener who thought maybe he'd punch someone in the face, you know. Yeah. Well, he said, yeah, he did all that. He's so gross. Here's the teacher's own letter. When Bryce came in, he was still wearing the hat. So I said, "Bryce, stand up and let everyone see the hat you're wearing." And when Bryce did, a few kids were cheering. I was booing, but I didn't mean for it to be in a vindictive way. In my mind, at the same time, it was the same as booing a sports jersey or something. And so as the ruckus sort of quieted down and Bryce was sitting down, again without the hat on, I said something to the effect, without providing any reference to what I was thinking about, which was those kids in Washington, D.C., that it doesn't matter what you believe, people are going to call you sexist and a racist and are going to want to punch you in the face. Hey guys, I said that in a way that wasn't mean, and the booing, it was in a good way, and singling him out, it's totally, yeah, I did it, but you have to know, it was really a great way I was doing it. So Bryce's dad, who you heard on John Gormley's show, he sent a letter to the school. I won't read it all to you. He said it was unacceptable, of course, what happened to his son. He said other kids had started calling his son a racist because of what that teacher had said and done. It must be true. And the teacher replies by email, because he's classy that way. He didn't phone, he didn't mean, he just sent a quick email, And he lied to the dad. He just lied. He's a goddamn liar. I showed you what he said in the note to the principal. I showed you what Bryce and his two classmates said happened. And what the teacher admitted to the principal. But here's what that goddamn liar teacher wrote to the dad. I had no idea he took our exchange so personally. Yeah, I certainly realized, looking back, that I never should have singled him out in the art room in front of his friends and classmates. A huge error in my judgment on my part. I met with Blank today and Dustin and apologized to Blank as well. I think Bryce misheard or misconstrued my statements. As clearly, I would never threaten a student, but nevertheless I was in error. Bryce carries himself so confidently, I truly believed he wasn't upset. Again, my apologies. Really, you had no idea that he would take it personally. Being told to stand up, you're leading them in the class in booing him, telling him he's a racist and sexist, he's got a punchable face. While the other kids are being egged on. It's just bullying 101. You have no idea. That's called an ironic apology. In Chinese, there's a special word for an ironic apology. I'm sorry that your kid is so thin-skinned. I'm sorry that your son took my abuse so personally. I'm sorry that when he heard me say he's got a punchable face, I don't know why he just thought I would never mean that. I'm sorry he thought I meant that. No, you goddamn liar, you admitted it, as did all three witnesses. Stop lying, you goddamn lying liar. I truly believed he wasn't upset, so it's all fine. And is this email okay with you? Because it's almost the weekend, I gotta go. What a disgrace. That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day, I do a video monologue, and then I interview an interesting guest. And then I end by reading my hate mail, but you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.